If I had a quarter for every horror liminal space movie that there was this year, I'd have three quarters, which isn't a lot, but it is really weird that we've had three in 2026. So It Ends is a brand new liminal space horror movie directed by Alexander Yuam. This is his first ever movie, his first ever debut, and I gotta say, for his first movie, this kid really rocked it. The film stars Phineas Yoon and Akira Jackson, and the premise of the movie is super simple. A group of four friends graduating from college decide to take one last road trip back home before going their separate ways, and on the way there, they seem to stumble upon a road that never ends. It's a liminal space that keeps on going forever and ever and ever. When they stop the car, things happen that prevent danger and death, and so they have no option but to keep going. The car never runs out of gas, they never get hungry, they never get tired. It's just a never ending cycle of this road. This movie, I say horror movie, but I should say that with like quotations. This movie has a lot of tension. It has a lot of suspense and thrill that kind of make it seem like a horror movie. It's marketed as a horror movie. The film isn't a horror movie. If well, I mean, not in the common sense of horror movie. This movie is a film about existential dread, about that never-ending feeling in adulthood where nothing really seems to have a purpose, and the more you keep going, the more you keep along this road, it feels like it's never going to end. That's a whole different type of horror that everybody nowadays is feeling. So this movie is perfectly timed for the year 2026. I feel like liminal space horror movies really did make a mark this year, but this movie stands out among the rest because it really is a great representation of where we're at with our mental health. Like, I gotta speak, at least for me personally, every time I turn on the news, it's something negative. It's something that feels like it's gonna kill me. And it's a never ending cycle of we're not going anywhere. The economy's not getting better. We our healthcare system still sucks, and just this never-ending feeling of dread that eventually we're all gonna die. So what does it matter? That's literally what this movie is. This movie is a different kind of horror. It's not your standard slasher, thriller, demon, ghost. It's just it doesn't explain itself. This movie is 100% an allegory, a metaphor for that never ending existential dread that you feel in your adulthood. This movie is great for people going from their 20s to 30s, their teens to 20s. It really is gonna hit home for those of us that have hit adulthood, and it's like it never stops. It never takes a break. And at a point, you just kind of come across as why do I keep going? Why do I keep this going? And that movie even touches on that subject. Not all of the friends decide that they're going to keep going with this road. One by one, little by little, they each start coming to this conclusion that, well, it doesn't matter because nothing changes. Everything stays the same when we're just going on this road. And you see the psychological toll that it has on them. You see the effect that it has on their friendship. It strains their relationships. And their relationships are, these were perfectly casted uh, teens in the movie. Like, I feel like they were friends in real life, and that's why they were put in this movie because the chemistry is there. These feel like lifelong friends with real memories to pull from, and even the jokes in this movie are very reliant on their relationship. It is a lot of conversations that you would have with your friends from college or from school. It's a lot of dumb questions and propositions that you would make each other that make you laugh. And this film relies heavily on that relationship in order to make you feel like, oh, you can see where the effect is on them because they wouldn't speak to each other this way. They wouldn't talk about this thing, bring up that subject. It's really great to see the metaphor and allegory of how adulthood strains relationships in real time, in reality. I really dug this movie. I really felt like it hit home for me and for this generation. I think it's great. I think it's a good sign that these new age of horror film directors are putting out movies that are horror films, but that also touch on real life psychological things going on. Obsession touched on loneliness and the male loneliness epidemic, how being obsessed with someone can, lead to horrible horror situations. This existential dread about adulthood being a never-ending never-ending road. Uh, Also, a great horror situation. I just feel like these young kids making these films, this new generation of filmmakers, really are in touch with their emotions and with what's gonna hit on the screen for the audience. And so I have nothing but trust for them. I gave this movie a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I enjoyed it so much. Everything about it was great, and it's a sweet 1 hour and 30 minutes. This movie does not overextend itself at all. It doesn't drag. It doesn't stretch. This movie really hits the mark. Like, it's just great for what it is. I really liked it. I think you're gonna like it too. Take your friends to it. Take your family to it. This is the kind of movie that I think you can enjoy as a group. I really dug it, and I hope you do too. Leave your comments down. Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.